After trading for Karl Anthony Towns, is the New York Knicks, or should I say the Nova Knicks instead, are they finally a championship contender? It really depends who you ask. If you're asking a person that's from New York, I mean, they're definitely gonna say yes, since we all saw what type of fans they were last year supporting the Knicks. Every time the Knicks won a playoff game, man, these fools was outside the streets of New York celebrating like they just won the championship. But what about you guys? What do you guys think about this new addition of Karl Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks? Are they a championship contender? Are they gonna win the championship this year? Let me know and comment down below and let's make this a conversation. But in today's video, we will be talking about the great positive things about Karl Anthony Towns getting added to the New York Knicks. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share a thing or two on why this also could not work. There's actually a couple major things that this might not go as smooth as the Knicks want to. So stick around at the end of this video and find out what those couple things are. And let me know if you agree with it or not. If you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button, as I will be making videos for you guys every week. And now, let's get to it. Let's start with the potential lineup that the New York Knicks is gonna have with the addition of Karl Anthony Towns. At point guard, we obviously have the New York legend himself already, Jalen Brunson. And at the two guard, you got Mikal Bridges. Small forward, you have Josh Hart. And at the power forward, you have OG Anunoby. And obviously, you have Karl Anthony Towns at the center, who can handle the ball at 7 foot. With this lineup, damn near everybody can score and get their own. And defensively, you have OG Anunoby, who can basically guard anybody in the league when it comes to the guard position. And Mikal Bridges is a mobile big who's lanky and who can not only guard bigs, but he can also guard smaller guys. And Josh Hart himself is not a bad wing defender. Those three guys can definitely play a major role, not just in season, but also in the playoffs when it comes to making a deep run. And when it comes to the offensive side of things, we all know what Jalen Brunson can do, especially what he has shown last year in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson is great coming off a pick and roll. Even though he's undersized, Brunson can still make a play for himself. Now, if you pair him up with Karl Anthony Towns in a pick and roll situation where Towns himself can either pop or roll to the basket for an easy bucket, what makes Towns special is that he's able to put the ball on the ground, and at the same time he's able to hit shots from the three-point line while being a 7-footer. Not a lot of people in the league who is 7 feet can either put the ball on the ground and shoot the three. It's either one of those that a lot of bigs in the NBA can do, but with Karl Anthony Towns situation, he's able to do both, and that's a big threat, especially in the East. When it comes to scoring, the New York Knicks definitely has two go-to guys when it comes to putting the ball in the basket, and that's obviously Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And I can see Mikal Bridges being the third option here. There's gonna be nights where Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns, and sometimes even both of them, might not show up offensively. And I see Mikal Bridges being able to take the load of the offensive side of things if those guys are having an off night or having an off series in the playoffs. Mikal Bridges can definitely play both sides of the floor with his size and his skill set offensively, which he has shown in the NBA Finals when he used to be with the Phoenix Suns, where they lost to Milwaukee Bucks in 2021. With the new look New York Knicks, they have a great balance offensively and defensively. Now they just gotta add some role players that's coming off the bench, and then now we're really gonna start thinking about putting them in the real conversation of not just a good playoff team or not just an Eastern Conference final team. Like, they might have, there might be a couple pieces away from being a legitimate title contenders. And you know what's a unique thing about this new look New York Knicks, or should I say the Nova Knicks? I can't really recall any players that used to play together in college and won in the NCAA level, and then now that they are in the NBA, that same core are back together and in the NBA in the same team. The Kentucky boys from, the Calipari days at Kentucky, they couldn't even do that when almost every year they would have 3 or 4 lottery picks. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but for sure every year they had like 3 lottery picks for like 5-6 years in a row, and they couldn't even pull that off back then. Maybe there was one before the Nova Knicks, but I can't remember it. I can't think of one. So if you guys can think of one, comment that down below, because I genuinely want to know if there was one that's similar to the Nova Knicks where they've won a national championship in years past, and down the road everyone's in the NBA and now the same core is now playing in the NBA in the same team. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I was gonna share a couple things on why this thing could also now work. And one of those things could be their chemistry with Karl Anthony Towns. And that's for obvious reasons, as he hasn't played with the Knicks before. You could say the same thing with Mikal Bridges, but he has experience with some of these guys at the collegiate level. So for Mikal Bridges, he probably doesn't have to do much of adjustment when it comes to playing with the Knicks this upcoming season. But in Karl Anthony Towns' situation, he might have to, make up some time in terms of building a chemistry with the whole team. And another trouble that they might have this upcoming season is the same one as they had last year, is Tom Thibodeau's coaching style. Tibbs has a great reputation of running his guys down. We don't have to go too far if we were looking for an example. Look what happened to Julius Randle last season. I don't even think he played in the playoffs at all. But I understand that in the playoffs or at the end of the season, injuries happen, but Tibbs has a reputation of just using 7 guys deep, and for them to be able to be successful in this year's season, they're gonna have to make adjustments based on those coaching decisions that Tim Thibodeau has been making in the past few years. But what about you guys? What do you guys think about this overall trade with Karl Anthony Towns going to the New York Knicks? Are the Knicks finally going to the NBA Finals and maybe even winning the whole thing? Let me know and comment down below, and let's make this a conversation. And if you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you on the next video.